This is the Levels Network. I'm Justin Horo, joined by the Triple OG, Willie Mason. OG, the last round of the season is here. We're about to get into the finals time. There are some finals type games this week, though, so I'm really looking forward.
There's about three that'll work out the 8. That's crazy.
Yeah.
It's going to go all the way down to Sunday.
It's the very last game.
Last day. I love it. You couldn't have written the script any better.
What about like if you're just say, for instance, like I was looking at the draw before. You got the Canberra Raiders and the St George Illawarra Dragons, who were playing on the Saturday. And they points differential, right? So yeah, it's crazy. So if the Dragons or Raiders, and the Raiders need to win by more than 6 to jump the Dragons too, by the way. So not only do they need to beat the Dragons, they need to beat them by 6. They will then have the opportunity to get into 8th position.
And then?
Only if the Dolphins and Knights draw all the way through extra time. Yeah. And that's only happened once this year, and that was the Manly game versus the Warriors.
God, can this happen?
Imagine
can it happen? This is going to be unreal. I'm going to watch every single fucking game, and I love it because I just think, like, this is how it should play out.
So good.
It's so, like no other sports like this. Only rugby league can just dish this out. When it comes to the last game, there's 6 teams out there trying to fight for bloody the 8th spot. It's crazy.
Cowboys and Bulldogs fighting for a home semi.
Yeah, man.
5th versus 6.
I said that. Like the Bulldogs have been probably arguably one of the most consistent teams.
Yep, agreed.
And you know what? If we get beat by the Cowboys and then Manly beat Cronulla, we finish 7th. And guess what? Then we play against Manly at Brookie. So we lose that home semi, so there's a lot riding on all these games.
It's funny. I agree with you. I fully agree with you that it feels like the Bulldogs have been the more consistent team.
Yeah.
But they're on 34 points, the same as the Cowboys.
Doesn't matter. Yeah, exactly. No one cares. That's just me and my opinion and everyone else's opinion of Bulldogs' opinions. But, like, you think Cowboys give a fuck?
You know why? It's because of the expectations that we had of the both of the teams. So to see them sit in here, I guess, with the roster that we expected at the start of the year, we probably expect the Cowboys, well, I did anyway, expected them to jump into the top 8 and be a contender with the stars that they've got. And the Bulldogs, we didn't have that expectation. So although they're sitting both on 34 points, it's not the way we viewed them at the start of the year, which, again, this is why rugby league's so great, mate. And,
unbelievable.
It's been a great season. I'm looking forward to the finals.
Can you believe it's the last round? I can't. This year's gone. It just goes too quick.
Mate, because
the weeks go quicker than the years, mate.
Yeah. Because now we do content every week and we do the podcast, sometimes it does feel long. But again, like just as a fan, no.
I honestly don't think it goes long ever. Like there's not a day where I go, oh, I've got to do a podcast. Oh, like I'm like, fuck, is it again? Yeah. You know what I mean? Monday, because we spread it out so well, right?
Yeah.
Monday morning, Thursday morning.
Yeah,
we're not doing Monday, Wednesday. You know, if Monday, Wednesday, I'd sort of be like, fuck, it's happening again. You know what I mean? But Monday, Thursday, and then Monday, Thursday, you know, it just spread out really good. And we all got things to do as well. And we're always involved in the game, coaching, you're doing commentating, all this kind of stuff. So when we do come in here, we love it, right?
Yeah. But there are times when I watch a game against Parramatta versus West Tigers and go, normally I'd be like,
because we're watching every minute of games. That's the thing. And I'll be honest, there's been a couple in the last week or two when I'm like, KO many
per round.
You know what I mean? I'm just like, there's about 1 or 2 last week when there's no meaningful game.
Yeah.
And it's not a game that's like, you know, people are just out there playing for different reasons. I get it. But it's like, it's not really going to, we can't talk about it on the Monday because we just flick past it.
Yeah, well, there's some teams that they're just, you know, they haven't got, I guess, the recognition on the potty because the storylines just haven't been really worthy. And that's that's up to the players. Be better. Play better. I'm only kidding. Only kidding and mucking around. Off the back of the show, it was the fan reaction from us talking about the vlogs.
Oh, really?
And it's almost like, you know what I was thinking? We've had a couple of times where we've gone either on a tangent or I reckon we have a segment, and I've got it down here, willy-nilly, where we just go all over the shop and like, you know.
That's the beauty of this whole thing,
for Monday's show, it was about the vlogs. And
that's just been on my mind for a little bit. I think, you know, having conversations with the great RENI Matua and a few old school guys, and we're like, fuck, would you do that? Like, would you?
Here we go. So again, it's pretty split, but there was a whole heap of people that were just loving your little rant. Here we go. I got RENI. RENI wants to jump in.
RENI Matua? Come on,
call
bro.
RENI.
6-1, RENI Matua speaking.
6-1.
All right. Hey, I got one. We had Ryan B who texted in because me and you were having a laugh at the training session about if 04 RENI and Mace were doing a vlog together. Someone did a vlog for Mace right now, and it's Mace's podcast day vlog. You ready?
Let's go.
5 a.m. Wake up, treadmill, does PB while watching 04 grand final replay.
Tick.
6:30, call Channel 7 to renegotiate contract due to rating spike.
Tick.
6:59, kisses Clive Churchill Medal before leaving home.
He's never taken it off.
7 a.m, drive to Belmore to give next week's game plan to Serraldo. 8 a.m, Forge training with Bulldogs Harold Matt squad. Has to end early as Mace has dusted them all. 8:30, passes on words of wisdom to Bulldogs office staff. Several moved to tears. Here's the best one. This is a doozy. 8:45, prank call to Tyson Gamble. Oh, and you're in this, and this is why I called you. 9 a.m, coffee with Rennie at the Hobbits Village Cafe. And 9:30 a.m, arrived to record Levels podcast, breaking Australia's podcast ratings record. morning done, vlog done.
That's outstanding. That's bang on.
Who knew? Who's been following me around?
Whoever that is, that's accurate. And I thought it might have even been your burner account messaging in for the.
You know, I reckon if it was 2004, I know who'd be doing vlogs. Rennie Matua.
All right, Ren Daddy. Thanks for the call, brother.
Love you, mate.
We'll speak soon.
See you tonight for dinner.
That was from Ryan B 9373. That was so good, mate. That is Mace if he did a vlog for sure. Thank you to everyone who leaves comments like that, who has been subscribing, who is following us on Instagram, TikTok. That is the sort of show we are. I love interactions like that. That's why I love doing it with
Send
you guys.
him a hat or something, man.
Yeah, we got to get something because that is the comment of the year on YouTube. That was so good. Shout out to Tyson Gamble. Love you, Tyson.
Love you, Tyson.
All right, let's move on to the new. Let's move on to the replies.
No, sorry, he slept on this one. Coffee at Rennie's at Hobbits Village Cafe.
So do you? Oh yeah, Hobbits. Got it. Fuck, that one went over my head. I thought that was a proper
Hobbits because he's short. That went over my head.
How did I miss that?
That's what I was laughing at.
Until you made me double down on it. That is so good. Yeah, that's the best. This is a. Now there's a lot. The other one that we had a lot of chat around was the Elliot Whitehead and Trent Robinson interaction. This one's from Iliani. Doing boys, great job on the podcast. By the way, it's mad that you guys don't always agree with each other. It's hectic seeing the OG's opinions of what the players like nowadays. Widamoo's team would run riot if socials were where they are right now, but they were the best of their era. That's look, again, like we disagree on the vlog stuff. We disagree. We disagreed on this. But your team with socials, and if like in this day and age, would be fun to watch.
Thank God.
Would it be
fun? Yeah, we had a bunch of like.
I mean, there are so many negatives of social media, but the access that people could have got watching you guys, would have been fun to see.
Socials would have been awesome, man. Like, just it's a double-edged sword, isn't it?
Yeah, for sure.
Depends how you use it, and these players use it to a good thing. I mean, I might be taking the piss out of like Ricky and a few of the guys, but I'm like, I just don't agree with doing all that sort of shit when you're just not winning. Right? When you're not killing it and everything like that. I mean, I know what social media is like. Great. I use it, we all use it on here and it's a great platform, but like it's and this is all tongue in cheek. We're not fucking fully against the vlogs. Yeah. Right? I'm not, don't get it twisted. I'm not,
we haven't used Don't Get It Twisted in a while.
I used it on Channel 7.
Oh, did you? Nice.
Don't get it twisted. I'm just looking at it and just going, oh, come on, guys. I just want you to lock in for a little bit, right?
Actually, that reminds me, this is how much of like, and again, this is tongue in cheek, like a bit of haterade where, the buck nasty ball. So Rennie was saying the other day when we were training, he goes, this is how much of a hater Mace is. He hates it when people repost birthday shout outs. Look at you. So he goes,
he knows it too because like my birthday, I would never put. I ran into you little fucker. So when it's my birthday, like I would never put anything on social media.
Yeah.
And Ran and Tong and that when it's their birthday, they'll just repost, and have about fucking 20 people saying happy birthday.
So
if someone says anything, I will never post anything.
Rennie goes,
happy birthday, mate. And I'm like, yeah, thanks.
He gets nervous about reposting the happy birthdays because he knows you're going to message him eventually. And I'm like, what do you care so much? Like if Mason's hating on that for?
Because he knows, but it's funny because we had this conversation ages ago.
Fun. Yeah.
It's fun, right? But he just knows that I'm like with shit lad. I'm like, don't fucking ever wish me happy birthday, Ren. It's never going to get posted, and it's never going to be like, oh, happy birthday, Willie, like fucking 20 times, right?
What about a mad team shot where like you're palming through someone and going over for a try? Still no repost?
Never gets anything. Never gets reposted. And then like, I'll ring Ren and go, happy birthday, bro.
Yeah.
Love you, mate.
Yeah.
All my mates will get a call.
Yeah.
Message.
I do that.
All that sort of, that's it.
Yeah.
I don't need to be on social media. I don't want anyone to know fucking my birthday. And I don't need that bullshit fake love. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Could be. Otherwise, I could have a fucking 1,000 of them up.
Yeah, of course, right? But it's not fake love for everyone.
No,
the way you perceive
No,
it.
no, it's not fake because the guys who ring me and go,
I'm not a big guy
goes, happy birthday, mate, sweet. That's it. That's all I need. That's all I need.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm a caller.
But I'm like, yeah, we had this conversation a couple of years ago with me and Ren.
Fuck, it made me laugh.
And Tong. And
we were doing the gyms. I think we might have just started the gym session and then Rennie brought it up and I just fucking couldn't stop laughing the whole session. This one is from the fraud legend. Have to agree with Scope and disagree with Mace on this one. JWH continues to hit people high, whether he plays the game aggressive or not. Hip drops aren't intentional sometimes as well. Yeah. You lose grip and fall down on the legs. Robbo out of line for that reaction to Elliott when his players are worse in the comp. But Buzzard agrees with you. Buzzard 451, aggressive tackle and a hip drop, not even in the same ballpark. Please. All right, let's just dissect this a little bit more. I obviously agree with Fraud Legend, and my point is pretty similar to his, where I don't think people go into even some of the most egregious probably hip drops or I guess the other one is crusher tackles. People don't like, it's just the nature of sometimes how a tackle goes. I would say the worst tackle in terms of intention is cannonball.
Yep.
I would say cannonball.
Below the knees.
No one intends to hit high and get someone around the chops. Yeah, they're trying to be aggressive and hit them in the chest. I don't think for the most part, I reckon 99% of them, probably the one bad example was our man, Psycho Max Plath a couple of years ago. Was it last year? That was a really bad example.
Aiden Caesar's the repeat offender.
Yeah.
I've seen him a couple of times just losing his hips and like not... Yeah, it's just a couple of those. Like Max Plath has never even been near a hip drop again.
Yeah,
it's sort of getting out of the game. But when it comes to like J-Dub, he's not intentionally trying to hit someone's head, and no one's intentionally trying to do a hip drop. They're totally different things, right?
Yes,
totally different things. Like he's aggressive, like he wants to hit you as hard as he can, and then the only reason why like J-Dub sees this slip up a fair bit is because he's coming in at 100 mile an hour, and when you think where your target is, and then they get lowered a little bit, and he's already committed, and he commits, and he doesn't pull back. You know, and that's been to the detriment of his suspensions, right?
Yep.
You know, like when he hit Verrills, fuck, that was solid, man. But he hit Verrills on the shoulder. You know what I mean? So you can see where his target is. His target's on the chest.
Yep.
So you're talking about like this much in a matter of when he's running and he might slip a little bit or he comes off his right foot. You dip when you step, right? You don't at the same height when you a little bit of footwork. That little bit of late footwork, you go from here just to here.
Yep.
That means the shoulder goes straight to your head, swinging arms, and the way that he tackles, he can't pull out. I mean, it's obviously he's been doing it for years, and like the thing is, he came through the 2010s where you could get away with that shit, and he can't change his technique because it's only been really bad in the last 4 years. You know,
well, he's been doing those tackles for a lot longer, but they've been clamping down on them recently.
In the last 5 years, they've really been clamping down, I think, and he just hasn't changed his technique. He's tried to, but when big guys commit like that, and he's going full tilt at you, trying to hurt you, he's trying to set standards. You know what I mean? Like he's trying to do that, and it's just it goes wrong sometimes when you play a fire like that, where Hargraves is like that.
Yeah,
it's fucking hard.
Agree. Yeah,
because he's a arm swinger. He's not a setter and dipper and a hitter like that.
Yeah.
He's fucking full ball, boom, arms, shoulder, chesty, and then you're fucking going down.
Well,
so if he gets it wrong, he gets it way wrong.
Exactly right. So my point is 300 gamer, experience, been around the game long enough. The game has changed. Yeah, he's an OG. But the part around the hypocrisy that I still agree with is Trent Robinson has had him as a coach now for a while. The rules have changed, and the rules have changed for the hip drop. The hip drop wasn't the same and viewed the same as it was. If you go back and watch the game 5 years ago, some of the tackles that players are doing specifically now, like the Elliott Whitehead, I went back and watched it. Look,
was it that bad?
It was. He ended up in a bad position, but like a tackle like that maybe 5 years ago wouldn't have been penalised to the level of it is.
Sucks because he done his ACL.
So my point is with it is the game has changed with both the hip drop and the line of contact. So therefore, if you do have repeat offenders like Elliott Whitehead, like Jared Warrior-Hargraves, I just found that a little bit rich. You know, I love Robbo as a coach. I highly respect Robbo.
That's what I mean.
Coach.
This must go a little bit deeper than that. That's all it is.
Well, look, see, then that's my point. Like, why?
Because we might have been watching like
so now, like to like summarize my point of it is, I think he was out of line on this, even though he didn't go over the top. I seen the exchange, I seen the words after. My thing is, if a guy comes over and he's clearly got a version of the hip drop wrong, I think Robbo. He was caught up in the emotion of the game for sure, and I think if he had his time over again, I think he would accept that. Would have accepted
a lot of
that
things. I want to hear the next time that he has a interview or a conversation about that. Maybe he'll change his thought process. But at the heat at that moment in time, you got to feel for Robbo, right? I know he's a very calculated.
Fully understand that
he's a very calculated, methodical human. And it just would have taken a lot for him to fucking,
clearly rattled.
Yeah, clearly rattled, clearly emotional.
Yep.
Shit, it would have been too early, like for Elliott Whitehead to go in there. Elliott Whitehead's a stand-up man. He's fucking obviously very sorry. He didn't intend. The intent wasn't there to do an ACL.
Yep.
And then all those thoughts should have been going through Robbo's head, right? But he's just like, fuck, my season could be potentially over.
I think
that's what it is. The accumulation of a lot of thoughts, and maybe he's been watching Elliott do that because his first initial reaction was like, that's too many. You do it too many times. Something like that. I'm like, oh, shit, where'd that come from?
You know how we were talking about there's a committee for a rule change, I think it was the NYC, where I believe Robbo is on, I could be wrong on this, Robbo is on a board that discuss a lot of the issues in the game.
Yeah.
I know he's like, every time I hear Robbo talk on majority of the things, I'm like, yeah, I probably agree with a lot of what he says, right? But I believe he's on a board. I think he may... This is just a gut feeling. The hip drop has been clamped down on in the last couple of years. Him understanding Elliott Whitehead's techniques has me thinking that he was a big part of the clamp down on the hip drops.
Yeah,
so he might have. He might have. Well, I believe there's like maybe a board of maybe 10 to 15 coaches, ex-coaches, players of significance, past players that get together, because I've got something a little bit later on about a bit of they call it a summit at the end of the year where they catch up and go over the rules. Robbo's take on it has me believing that maybe Elliott Whitehead was an example that they used during that time. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I think so. Like, that's what I mean. Like,
even though it wasn't illegal back
how the
before.
fuck can he must have so much footage on him doing a lot of those things for him to go, you've been doing it, whatever the comment was. It's like, what did he say? Like, that's too many times.
Too many times.
Too many times,
Too many times.
360 had a pretty comprehensive package.
Oh, yeah. What did they do?
360 put on?
They just had it in the background. They didn't really point to it.
Yep. And it's just all the tackles.
In the background as Braith was talking.
Yep.
But was there a lot of hip drops from Elliott?
Was it evident from Elliott?
Yeah.
Okay.
And did he get suspended?
Not necessarily.
No.
These are just
all right. So Lukey's saying that 360 had it in the background. I missed this part of it, where Elliott Whitehead and look, this is what I said on Monday as well. When I think of Elliott Whitehead, he's not an out and out hitter. He's not a guy that he gets good technique every now and again, but he's a bit of a. He reminds me like how I used to tackle sometimes. Get good contact. Underhooks. Try to wait for someone else to come in. But sometimes being an edge back row, if the middle doesn't come or your half doesn't get in there, sometimes I used to just drop my weight and try to bring someone down. Now, that never used to be a hip drop. And there's certain techniques where you can lose it. And there would have been cases for sure where I would have done it because I would have been doing everything I can to get a guy like you down, Mace. And if it's one-on-one or maybe my middle slipped off and I've got in there, then I'll just go like hang on to the back of you, so you would, obviously feel my body weight and then maybe give way a little bit. So that's the way
lose your legs.
Lose your legs. So I can understand edge back rollers and halves doing it a fair bit, which is quite common. So that's basically my take on it. The last one off the back of this too, mate. This is from Dot Dash. Hey lads, love the potty. L1 from day one. Just a quick one. With all the send-offs happening lately, I was wondering when players get sent off, do they get a spray from the coaches or players after the game or in the video sessions in the following week, or is it left on the field? Love your work, never change.
It's on the field. It's on the field. I mean, because everyone knows, just say with Hargraves and with all these guys who played they tote the line, right? It's just fucking, you're like, oh, that sucks.
As much as Jared's a repeat offender, he has had a career of spacing them out. I reckon Victor Radley went through it about a year and a half ago, where I reckon mentally Victor was struggling with it.
Yeah, he only started playing good football this year.
He was struggling with the changing of the rules, and there were a couple of occasions where he was made an example of, in my opinion, and I think he was unfairly done. Yeah. And I think that was rattling Victor. I reckon he was like starting to really question
because his whole game is predicated on fucking hitting as hard as he can.
Yeah,
he had to lower it a little bit. Because his technique is great, but he's a real aggressive human. When he's out there, he wants to hit and hurt. He just stays on the field. Like, what can you do? Like, if you win, you're like, no one gives a shit. But like, if you lose, like, and you're like, fuck, and you're still not going to say anything, and especially to a guy like J-Dub and Victor Radley and guys that sort of toe the line a little bit. Like, it's just like, fuck, this is the way they play.
Did you see the Elliot? Oh, you're not on socials at the moment.
No.
Elliot Whitehead put up a post.
Oh, that's fucking hilarious.
That's the audio from. Have you seen that famous footage? It's like a CAS game. Haven't you seen that? Oh, it's hilarious. that's audio over the top of Elliot Whitehead from a Super League game, and it was a CAS game. Oh,
that's fucking unbelievable.
I've got to show you the OG. Yeah, it's so good, and he dubbed it and put it over.
So
top
he hasn't been suspended?
Yeah, he's done 3 games.
Season over.
Yeah, season's over. He only had 1 game left. He was always going to.
That sucks. The way he's been great for Canberra in the NRL.
Yeah. Shout out to Ellie White. He's fucking a legend. He's funny. I think.
Smelly.
Yeah, I think. After just letting it settle again, I didn't really think either was super disrespectful as well. Like, in the sense where Elliot Whitehead brought it up in the presser, because obviously Elliot seemed a little bit more disappointed that Robbo didn't accept the apology, and Robbo wasn't over the top either. He was just like, mate, it's too many times. It's too many times, and you could see the interaction. Elliot walks away. He's obviously trying to. I think maybe Brendan wouldn't have been on the field, but they were on the field after the game. So. It's quite a unique situation, but I think in my opinion, I think if Robbo had his time again, considering everything and having a look at it and taking the emotion of losing 3 plays in that game,
that's what it is.
I think he handles that better.
He just rattled because his season just probably nearly in front of him, just like, fuck, it's over.
Well, speaking of season's over, here we go. Getting into one of our L1s from day one. Absolutely loves it, Jimmy Reid. Payne Haas now getting surgery on his Liz Frank mace. Why the fuck did they play him 76 minutes on it last week? Kev is rattled.
That's fucked. I said it last week. He shouldn't have played. It wouldn't have mattered, even if like they're never going to make a run for it. They wouldn't have even if they had won that game, I just don't think they could have even won the comp at all. Because they've had so many players out and they're not playing good. But like, to play him that many minutes and just you're potentially fucking around with his career. I said that, like, if he's semi-ruptured his Liz Frank, that could have turned into a fucking proper rupture, and that's 6 to 9 months out.
Yeah, well,
I just wouldn't have danced with the devil like that, mate. Yeah. Because like, obviously he's not playing this week, is he? Like, just say if they had won that game,
surgery.
Yeah, if they had won the game, was he still going to get surgery?
Well, so yeah.
Or does he keep playing and then just fucking really rupture his thing? That's the fucking most stupidest thing I've ever seen.
So here's what we've got to take in consideration, right? Was this surgery coming no matter what? Now they're officially eliminated. He's done. I leant towards the side of, all right, I understood what you were saying because you've been through the injury. I would have given Payne that game because you're looking at where the Dolphins are right now. The Dolphins and the Knights are playing to make the finals. Once the game was done at about the 50-minute mark, it was evident that they weren't going to win that game. I think they should have taken him off. Whenever Kevy gave him a spell, he has obviously gave him a spell for 4 minutes here. When they gave him a spell, he shouldn't have gone back out there.
When Herbie scored that try coming off an inside ball, and him and Willison and that's the thing, you can't stop on a dime like that. So when he was going across field, Willison went first, he went second, hips to the side.
That was about the 55th, 60 minutes mark,
that was game over.
Yeah,
that was game over because he doesn't ever fuck up like that, Payne Haas.
No.
So you're out there, you're putting him in all these like different situations. When he gets fatigued and everything like that, and they're on the back foot, and he can't stop, like he can't. There's things like where your foot just stops you. You come that way and you bang, you can flip your hips. He couldn't even do that because he's got to plant his feet. Like little things like that could have fucking ruptured his frame.
Well, you know the toughness of the player as well. I reckon Payne Haas's last 4 runs were his best runs of the game as well. That's how tough he is.
Yeah.
I remember watching at the back end, I was like, oh, Payne's actually getting better as this game's going on.
But the thing is,
he shouldn't have been he shouldn't have been put in that
defenses
position.
aren't as like, look what happened in his first 50 minutes. He made 45 meters.
Yeah.
He had the last couple of runs because the Dolphins weren't like trying to kill anyone. You know what I mean? Like their line speed was off. You know, you're going to let Payne Haas get his 10 or 15 every night.
No, I'm just speaking of the character of the player.
Oh, he's tough as fuck, mate. He's so tough.
Too tough for his own good.
He's so tough, and I'm like, you could not do that to a player called Payne Haas, who's the best forward in the fucking world, who's got a 10-year career ahead of him, and you want to jeopardize that?
And it's important how you start the year next year too.
Yes, you know what I mean? He might have a full rupture now. Like he could have done it from that, and then it could be the whole thing that he's got screws in his foot and everything. I've been through this shit. That's why I was so fucking like against it at the start. Selfish from the Broncos. It's awful.
All right, this one is from Henry James Mango. Question times shout out. Triple OG and the Manly legend wanted to send love and thanks for all the work you put in for the show. Become a huge fan this year, and the potty is the best NRL content out there. Appreciate if you can please give a shout out to the next potty to our lobster tipping comp. The comp is 10 of us mates at a tipping comp this year, and last place has to shout all the boys a lobster lunch. That's going to be expensive. Question is, what do you think is the next innovation in the game? Any more big rule changes? E.g. 6 again, or do you think the future changes will only be marginal? And I'll back this up with Kerapa, Chur, Uncle OG, and the Cuzzy Horo. First of all, the mean potty boys. I was thinking the NRL needs to have a week-long round table forum with refs, coaches, administrations, RLPA, ex and current players, and even a few podcasters like yourself to watch controversial footage and pick the game apart with an attempt to come to at least a majority decision on the rules to tweak, bring in or scrap. Then these people can go back to the clubs, referees, and lay down the laws and interpretation so everyone is on the same page. The NRL could even make a doco kind of thing on the free-to-air to explain everything. Could be a 2 to 3 part thing. I think a 1-part episode would be beneficial for not only the fans but also the teams as well. Like at least they've got some footage to watch and see why certain decisions are made. I don't know about podcasters being in there. I've just left that in there because I thought that was a giggle. But like when you talk about some guys in the podcast like yourself, for the prime example, where you've been around, I guess you cover the ex and current players and fully engaged in the game. That'd be a part of having a guy like you there. But yeah, I like that idea where the rest actually, I'd imagine there is a committee. It's just we don't see it.
I just think like what he said there, if everybody in, administrators, coaches, RLPA, ex-players, all that kind of stuff, refs, blah, 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 like everyone needs to be, the main thing is for everyone to get on the same page.
In sync.
No grey area.
Yeah.
Everybody, like you want to know interpretations from how the refs are thinking. I want to hear it from like Annesley. I want to hear it from referees. I want to hear that. If I'm a coach, I want to hear all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
That's all I want. I want a clear like vision for the game and where we're going to go to next year. I think they should do that every like couple of years.
I think
it's a great thing. Every year, just sit back and just.
Do you think it happens now and we just don't hear about it?
I'm not sure. It just doesn't come. It doesn't have all these guys including, because they don't care about ex-players and all that kind of stuff, and current players. Current players aren't involved. But I think they should get all the captains along. They should get everyone there. Just say one day and just sit in there. No cameras, no bullshit, and just get it out and get on the same page.
Okay.
I think it could only benefit the game.
I reckon for sure, if we break it down, just say if we had a table with 20, I love a lot of the representation that he's got here. So obviously refs, I'd like to have obviously Graham Annesley would have to be there, senior referee, Ashley Klein, and then an up-and-coming young ref as well.
Just the main refs.
Representation of 3 refs. Coaches, I want to
I want to see some young guys. I want to see Ciro in there. I want to see Robbo. I want to see Webby. I want to see Wayne, Belly.
I think it would be important to have an OG. So Bellamy, Wayne Bennett or Robbo. I think one of those, representation of one of them. Then someone from the middle pack.
Get Benji as well. Like get a Benji, like get a young kid.
I'm getting to that. The bottom teams need it more than anything. You know, like Benji's a prime example. Yeah. He's a young coach coming through. His team's been sin bin the most out of any team. And you've got to have Webby in there, mate, for the Warriors because the interpretation of some of the Warriors fans.
He needs to know. He goes, why are you fucking me over?
Well, I think it's important to have like a Webby or Cam Serraldo, one of the middle coaches in there.
Those the new age coach. They need to be in there.
Administrators,
and then Wayne, probably Wayne and a Belly coming in there, and a couple of CEOs, whatever you want. CEOs can all come in there, like everybody. Everyone should just be in there, just fucking feeding off each other, trying to innovate the game, and go back to the first question. That's when the changes could come in. That's when you'll have ideas and everything like that.
Yeah.
So
all the interpretations.
Shout out to the lobster tipping comp.
Yep.
Well shout out, boys. But like. Yeah, that's what I think. If you have a big fucking summit like that, get everybody in there once a year, one day, get it sorted, fucking get out there and use. Very clear on the rules, no grey area, interpretations, this, and this, where we're heading with the game, blah, 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 go.
Yeah, I want to even break it down a little bit more as we keep going. So obviously I want Abdo and Peter V'landys in there too. It's important because they're the guys that set the tone for what the competition.
They're the ones that could set this up.
Yeah. So then you got like 2 to 3 from every sort of part of what he mentioned here. So RLPA, Clint Newton, and a guy that's probably a little bit more connected to the game in terms like Nudo's one of the OGs now. He's from your era. So you get a younger guy like Jamie Burer in there, who's not far, like only 3 or 4 years removed. And then ex-players, get you in there, get Jammer in there, and then get some like a representation.
Joey or Freddie or something like that.
Joey,
Billy, Bill. Still
engaged for sure. Billy's would be great.
Bill, Madge, Cam Smith, like get all the brains, man. Try and make this game just like
there are some
games at its peak like that now with money and everything like that and views and blah blah. We just want to keep getting better and better. We can't change it that much, right? We're not going to change it that much.
It's not about changing anything.
It's just about the interpretation, where we're heading, what the vision is, and blah 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 blah. And everyone on the same page.
Yeah,
and we all go from there.
And we can't just have any OGs too, because some OGs aren't engaging when I'm watching it. Mate. So yourself, Jammer, and Billy's a great example because they're actually watching every game.
We love the game, mate. I just want to see the game be at its best, the best product. You know, we're getting the best product out there.
And if you are going to chuck a podcaster in there, fuck it, I'll do it. All right?
Fucking oath.
I'll be there. Let's get on to what's happening up at the Broncos, mate. We talked a little bit about Payne HAAS. So I'm interested to hear your take on this. So the Brisbane Broncos have been labelled a fractured club, pardon me, for a number of reasons this week. There's been a lot of chat early on in the week. The Adam Reynolds / Gordon Tallis thing has come up again at the start of the week. But off the back of that, I was watching 360 on, I think it was Tuesday or one of the segments. Last week, teammate of Adam Reynolds, Billy Walters, sensationally quit his regular guest spot on Triple M doing breakfast radio off the back of all the criticism Kevy had been copying on that show or on the network. Reynolds stepped in to replace Walters with the Daily Telegraph's your man, Buzz Rothfield. He's calling it disappointing decision by the Broncos captain. What's your thoughts on that?
Why? Why is it disappointing?
Well, I guess the take is that...
Well, disappointing because like Billy said no because Billy's backing his dad.
Yeah.
That's all it is. He loves his dad. I'd expect my fucking son to back me.
Agreed.
Step back. Reynolds gets a chance to be like, you know, Reynolds he's probably trying to maneuver his way into the media a little bit.
Agreed.
So that's like, have a look at it from the different perspective. Reynolds is not trying to disrespect fucking Kevy Walters or Billy Walters or anything like that. He's just trying to maneuver his way through the media world and he's got a spot on Triple M. And he's not going to get on there and bag the fucking Broncos.
No.
He got nothing else, but if anything, he's very diplomatic and he'll just praise the Broncos. Well, he's not on there bagging anyone, is he?
No, he's not.
Well, then that's a great person to have on there.
Yeah, Adam Reynolds has always been really good at... I've always enjoyed watching Ren talk about the game because
he's smart, mate.
He does give you enough without giving too much as well.
But Reynolds is a fucking guy who's been around for 12, 13 years.
Yeah.
He's been around the block. He was at South Sydney when they were shit. He come through. He won a premiership. He's come to the Broncos. He's beesdick off a premiership. He's got stories. He's got perspective. From Triple M, I'd sort of want Reynolds on there anyway, apart from Bill.
That's fair. Like, that's a bigger draw card for sure.
He's a bigger draw card. So they're like, okay, well, no, thanks, Bill. We respect what you're doing.
Yeah.
Whatever. But yeah, we'll go with Reynolds. And Reynolds is like, you know what? Get a payday. get some money,
About to get in the media
get a
probably.
platform. He's probably got 1 year left in him max, or maybe he
think
might
so.
call it. Do you know what I'm saying? So he might want to maneuver his way in there. What do you think guys like fucking Aaron Woods and all these guys are doing? They're trying to get in there before they fucking retire.
Yep.
You know, so it's like a smart move. So like you can't hate on him. You cannot hate on Adam Reynolds. This is bullshit. This is what happens when your fucking club is all over the shop.
Well, here's my thing, and this is from Geno as well. Hey, boys, just a thought about the Broncos season. Other than the obvious things like injuries impacting them this year, I feel like people also are forgetting that before the year, a lot of them had not even played footy in September, right? Like a lot of the young team, because they hadn't been in finals for a while. So, let alone first grade, and then they go all the way to the GF. Then many of them get their first crack at international footy off the back of
That's
that
bullshit.
GS loss. Then they roll into the year and they start by flying over to Vegas for round one. Not making excuses, but I think there is something to be said for how much last year has emptied the gas tank for this year. Also just shows how amazing Penrith are for doing it for so long. Cheers for the content.
That is a lot of excuses that you're making up, mate. You know, like they just, it is what these guys have played rep football. Half that team's played rep football, Origin, everything like that. It's not that fucking far into going into a grand final run, right? You're playing semi-finals, but 8 of those blokes have played Origin.
I thought that was quite balanced from him, though. It's more given praise.
Origin is the pinnacle. It's the hardest. It's the most amplified game in the world. They got to a grand final. They were fucking couple of plays off. You know, it's not a big deal. Then they all went into the rep scene. They come back here. A few things happen with these guys, mate. Few injuries, guys out of form. We always talk about it. When the Broncos were on fire, they all had fucking 6 people in the finals of the Dally M for being the best in their position. Same as the Warriors. Look what happened this year. Fucking none of them are there. None of them are there. Broncos, none of them are there apart from Payne HAAS.
Yeah.
That's about it. Maybe Payne HAAS has gone down the order as well.
Paddy Carrigan would be.
Paddy Carrigan, yeah, but that's about it. No Reece Walsh, no Cobbos,
Ezra
no
Mam.
Katoni Staggs,
They had
no
Herbie.
Ezra Mans, no Herbies, no Flegglers. The only person who's going to be in the Dally M Lock of the Year race is our boy Carrigan. That's it. Compared to last year, they probably had about 6 or 7.
Yeah, that's fair.
And this is what happens. You go down in form. It is what it is. This is where our fucking the salary cap's fucked. The comp is so tight, and sometimes shit like this happens. Reynolds out for most of the year. You know what I mean? Like in and out of the team, no continuity. Players not playing to their best, and this is what happens. You lose Flegler, you lose Herbie, you lose some key players, you lose a bit of depth, and it just like Ezra Mam didn't have his best year. He had a fucking lights out year last year. Same as Katoni. There was a center in the last test. They've all had down years. You can't afford to do that.
You brought up the Warriors. You brought up the Warriors halfway through that, right? And it's very similar. The Warriors
mate.
have had a down year.
Similar, they were fucking one game off the grand final.
The Warriors, yeah, that's my point, right? They get the one game off the grand final. Now, look, they were humbled by both the Brisbane Broncos and the Penrith Panthers in those finals games.
Fair
but in
enough,
saying that, they were so close. And when we think about the Warriors and the drop-off they've had when they're sitting, I think they're very similar. Like they're not,
exactly the same.
They're 26 and 23%, so
That's
3
what I'm
points
saying.
away. It's like the expectations for the Broncos were higher still, despite everything that
But
happened.
they always are because you're the Broncos. You've won 6 premierships.
Yeah.
You know, like
I think
where
it's less
they
to do
get
with the
hit.
6 premierships and more to do with the roster that they had this year.
Yeah, okay, I'm just saying, but there comes a lot of pressure when you put that Broncos jersey on. You do. Like you got all these great players like Wendell and Gordy and fucking Kevy and all the some of the greatest players that ever played the game have all played for the Broncos. And there comes a level, fucking very high level when you become a Bronco. And when
Certain
you
clubs,
don't
right?
win, this is what happens. And this is and it wouldn't happen to any other team really, apart from the Broncos, especially what they did last year compared to this year. Now they're going to cop everything. They just need to hold the fort, galvanize together. Don't let this shit break up
Lachlan.
the playing group. Lock in, get through everything.
No,
and
Lachlan Galvin.
Yeah, just Lachlan Galvin in. And then you just got to, and then you got to get through all this shit because people are just going to keep coming at you and coming at you. And that's up to the coach. It's up to the CEO, the GM to get everybody galvanized and just to stick together. Otherwise, they're going to try and break this team apart like they are.
The Broncos chat is now getting like the rest chat. I think I've had
Get
enough of
over it. Like, done. You've had a shit year. Get over and get busy next year.
After we'll finish talking about this, I want to get in the next couple of weeks. We're going to start talking about the good teams, and that's more enjoyable to talk about. This one is from Latrell Mitchell. He was trying to get his 1-match suspension. They must have been listening to the potty, Mace, for the infamous photo that was taken in the Rabbitohs clash with the Roosters this week. Much to the dismay of the NRL 360, they weren't happy with it. So Mitchell received a 1-match suspension, a $20,000 fine from the NRL over the leaked image of the. The Rabbitohs also fined him $100,000 with $80,000 of that suspended.
So you got 20 grand.
Basically. There's been question marks over the ban, and the NRL officially knocked it back. So I believe it is going to be either, that hasn't been confirmed yet, the Indigenous game now next year, or week 1. Do you think they make the right decision on that?
I mean, if he's ready to play this week, like why have they got beef with that?
Yeah, I agree with that.
If he's ready to play, if he's done all the training, he's fit.
If he's cleared from physios.
If he's cleared, which
they left themselves in a bit.
I know what it's like.
Yeah.
Cleared. You know what I mean? So it's just like the NRL aren't just they're just not taking the shit, but you got to take their word for it, right?
Yeah.
If he thinks he's ready to go and you're trying to question his integrity,
well, it's less about the individual's integrity. Well, it is, but
it's the clubs. It's everyone's on board. Everyone's on board for him to play.
Yeah.
If I'm sweet.
Yeah.
Well,
have you got something? Is there precedence? Not really.
No, there's not. I mean, like I only said it last week because that's what I'd do.
Yeah.
You know, it just is a loophole in the game.
I would do it as well.
Yeah, exactly, because I want Latrell Mitchell playing next year.
Yeah,
I want him wearing 1. I don't want any because as I said, like all they'll keep talking about is bringing up this shit that happened, and it's like all preseason, everything like that. So if he can get rid of if he doesn't play in the Indigenous game, that's it.
Whether it's Latrell Mitchell or I'm looking at some of the rosters now here that I've got in front of me, whether it's Drac Bird, Trey Mooney, some of the names I'm just looking on the list, I would be doing this as well. If there was an opportunity where I was suspended and I was out injured at the same time, and it meant that I was able to play, you'd for sure.
And of course, people aren't happy. 360's not happy. All this sort of shit because they want him to suffer. You know, like he fucking already has public humiliation. These are all allegations, and he's suffered enough.
Yep. All right.
It's just fucking let him.
Let's get on to the positives then. This is the last month for the RLPA Player of the Month, and your August nominees are your man Herbie Farnworth from the weekend, Mace, Jerome Hughes, Kalen Ponga, Tom Trbojevic, and Isaiah Yeo. Herbie played 5 games, 4 tries, 3 try assists, 29 tackle breaks. I feel like they were all in that Broncos game, averaging 70 post-contact meters per game with an average of 185 of the best.
In the centres.
Jerome Hughes, 4 games, 1 try, 5 try assists, 4 line breaks, 24 tackle breaks, and an average of 141 running meters. And he missed that crucial game against the Cowboys too. So, even better that stat line with him missing that game. Kalen Ponga, 5 games, 2 tries, 3 try assists, 27 tackle breaks, an average of 166. Tommy Trbojevic, 4 games, 7 tries, 3 try assists.
That's fucking ridiculous.
An average of 212 run meters. And Isaiah Yeo, 5 games, a try, 3 try assists, 17 tackle breaks, an average of 39 tackles per game, and 174. He does it all for that team.
I honestly can't go past Herbie. I don't give a shit about his last game, but like to average 185 meters per game for the last 5 games at right center, like that's amazing.
He was left center.
Right center, but he plays both, you know what I mean? So you're not getting the lion's share of the ball. So what he's doing with the ball is unbelievable. 4 tries, 3 try assists, tackle breaks.
Fuck, Tommy was
post contact, and him. I can't.
Tommy was pretty.
Him and Tommy. That's it. All these other guys.
Yowie?
Not even, no. I think Yoey's been great, but like that's just the Penrith system, man.
That's just what he.
It's just what he does. He's desensitized everyone.
Yeah.
That's what he does. This is Yoey for fucking 27 games.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's not really going to go down much, and he's in the middle, so he gets the lion's share of the ball when he wants. So he should be averaging 174 meters. He plays 80 minutes a game, so I'm not really surprised at Yoey's stats. But where Herbie just rips out a 5-gamer like that, and
pretty good.
I still can't go past that boy Trbojevic, right? But he's fullback, so 212, that's all right. I expect that. 212 from fullback, but when you're not bringing the ball back like that, like Herbie is, Herbie's getting the ball one-on-one, shaking blokes, line breaks and everything like that, 70 metres post-contact. I'm going with fucking Herbie, man.
Yeah, it's not a bad shout. I think it's going to be very hard to find out who the winner is. We'll announce that on Monday at the next show. It's time to get on to the team list for round 27, and we'll get our plays. I'm going to go back here and get the odds up from our partners at the tab. Kicking it off, we have Brisbane at home to the Storm, Thursday, 7:50 p.m. at Suncorp Stadium. The Broncos, no Tony Staggs. He's nursing that quad injury. Selwyn Cobbo moves to the centres, and Corey Oates comes in on the wing. Fletcher Baker joins the front row with Payne Haas out. Brendan Piacorta is also missing, with Jaden Hunt returning, and the one-game ban for your man, Xavier Wilson, brings in Kobe Hetherington on the bench. As for the Storm, Suafailongo takes over at fullback. Pappy is going to miss this week. Jerome Hughes is back. Will Warbrick is back. Nick Meaney are all back after being rested last week. Also, the return of Xavier Coates on the wing. His is from injury. And then all the forwards are back through the middle that missed a game and were rested last week as well. Big Nouse, Harry, Josh King, Sean Bloor, Ali Katoa, and Trent Lioro. This is going to be a bad week.
Be a flogging.
To be a Brisbane Bronco, I think.
An absolute touch-up. Melbourne ain't going to muck around. This is all guns blazing.
Okay, with the tab, Brisbane Broncos are $4.80 underdogs at home. Melbourne are $1.18, and the line is 15.5. By the sounds of it, makes you think it's going to be more than that.
God, yuck.
I'm with you.
Yeah, I mean, like, why the fuck would Melbourne let up in this?
No.
You only get the Broncos sometimes when the Broncos are down, foot on throat, and you just want to kick the hell out of them because they're the Broncos.
And you know what? Like, knowing sort of and understand Bellamy being around for so long, you get injured in games where you take it easy.
Yeah, you can't.
You know what I mean?
Can't Sammy take it easy. There's no way.
So I reckon they're going to go full ball on this one.
Yeah, full tilt.
Full tilt.
Full tilt. We need to get. They'll go that. Imagine what they're thinking, Melbourne. They're like, you know what? Get this minor premiership, beat the shit out of the first fucking semi. Literally 3 games for the grand final. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Bang, 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 bang.
That's the mindset for sure. We should ask Money when he called in on Monday, but I'm with you, mate, on this one. We agree straight off the bat. Normally we disagree on a couple.
Not when it's like this. First, fucking fourth, last.
All right, I think we're going to disagree on this one then. The Spoon Bowl.
Woo.
West Tigers versus the Eels, Friday, 6 p.m. at Campbelltown Sports.
You are not going the Tigers.
Josh Folletti comes into the centres for his second game of the season, so Junior Tupou goes to the wing, and Solomon Olomalo is out under the concussion protocols. As for the Eels, they welcome back Kel Matualangi. He's back in the side after being a late withdrawal last week, so Sean Lane reverts to prop. Offa Hickey, Ogden goes to the bench. Sean Russell returns on the wing, therefore making way for Jake Tungle will make way. The tab have this game $2.25 favourite. Underdogs at home, the West Tigers. Parramatta $1.65. The line is 3.5.
Is it Seatown or like
Seatown.
Doesn't matter. Parra's going to pump him.
Pump him?
Yeah. It's be another 13 plus.
I thought you were going to say, the reason I thought we're going to disagree is because I thought you want to see Parramatta get the spoon, and I'm on Parramatta.
No, I don't think they deserve it.
Either do
Tigers do. They've been very bad all year. Very bad, consistently bad all year. So if they can jump and let Parra get this spoon, that's fucking awful for Parra.
Again, going back to the point we said before, Bulldogs and Cowboys on the same point. You're saying one being more consistent. Parra and Eels, they're on the same points, mate. So you can't.
I don't know. I just think because it's got a better team, they just had. Well, probably in hindsight, right? Not hindsight, but like Parramatta's probably had a worse year.
Definitely.
What's in the fucking roster?
Definitely.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Tigers.
Are you going to? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I want Parra to get the spoon.
See, that's why.
Shout out to my accountant, Pierre. He fucking loves Parra, and I've got a lot of diehard Parra fucking supporters. I mean, Parra mates that love him, and I'm like, I just want to kick him. Because you know what? Even if they go, oh, yeah, we didn't get the spoon, now you're going to get it. Now you're getting it. You're getting it, boys.
You just got real evil then when talking about that. You went,
only because I really...
Yeah, you weren't thinking about it.
I just like arguing with my mates who just go for Parra.
Yeah, gotcha.
Just to kick, you know, how bad is that when you got the spoon, mate? Shut up. Yeah. There's no argument until the end of next year.
Like Birdie, when Birdie got the spoon when we beat him.
Birdie, shut up. I can't even understand you anyway.
Rabbitohs versus Roosters. This is going to be, despite where they are on the ladder, this is going to be a very...
it'll be hard. He's still tough.
This is going to be a tough game because Roosters are going to be trying some new combinations now, and Rabbitohs would love to spoil and just kick the Roosters while they're down, even though they've got a whole bunch of outs themselves. So this is at a core stadium.
That's
Cody Walker.
right?
He shifts to 5'8". Dean Hawkins is the halfback because Jack Whiten is out with a calf. Richie Kenner has been recalled to the team and takes over from Fletcher Myers, who drops to the reserves. I like Fletcher Myers. The Roosters, Sandon Smith takes over at halfback for Sammy Walker. Connor Watson, he's the obvious choice for Brendan Smith. Nafua White is the new lock-in for Nat Butcher. Satili Tupanua for Victor Radley. Joseph Akuso Swali'i comes back in the centres. So Michael Jennings goes back to 18th man.
Oh,
and the
back.
new guys,
Yeah, nice.
Siwa Wong, Zach Docker-Clay, and debutant De La Salle
Va'a. Well done, kid.
Well done. They're the new faces on the bench. Junior Palga also comes in on the wing for Daniel Tupou, who has been rested, the OG.
Yeah, well, considering Souths have half their team out as well,
Yeah.
and they will put up a fight because it's a rivalry game, but the Roosters will be too good, man. They'll be like, you know what? Yeah, we lost some good players, but we got Connor Watson, we got Sandon Smith. We can make do.
Pretty good replacements, aren't they?
It's pretty good replacements, man, because
Matty,
Connor Watson and Brandon Smith are quite similar.
Yeah.
Quite similar. They just use a little bit of depth, but then you got Zach Docker-Clay, who's outstanding. He did the running club at the start of the year, and he's just grinding because he can play. He really adds a little bit.
Matty Johns tossed up playing more of a direct style of footy, put in Joseph Manu at 6, Luke Keary at 7, and either like Sandon Smith or Zach Docker-Clay at hooker.
Did you find
And then you can keep Connor Watson coming off as that 14 role that he does
that
so
could
well.
work. Did you find that what's her name? Fucking Joey Manu just got the ball so many times.
Yeah.
I liked it, but I didn't like it because it was like he was just everywhere. He was just trying to win the game when he got to 5'8", which I loved. But I mean, I reckon sometimes you can do that. Like just say, hey, get at 5'8" for like 10 minutes and then go back out. Do you know what I mean? Like they can sort of manage it.
The problem is when you play a guy like Joey Manu who's so good.
Fuck, he's good.
You just compress the line as a defensive line because they're not going to strip you on the
because
outside.
like him holding the pine makes the defense spread out.
Correct.
Right? So when he's in there, you just compress.
Yeah.
And that's the difference, right? And that's what they did. That's what Canberra did because he was in there. He was getting the ball two times a set and just running. So they just compress because you weren't going to throw it right.
He doesn't have that crisp ball over the top. It's more of a floater. So you got enough time to reassess and go. That's the only. That's
I just want Joey Manu as a centre because he's the best strike centre in the game.
Yeah, agreed. I think Sandon Smith. You're going to look at him.
Job, man. He can do a job.
He's going to be the partner for Sammy Walker next year once Kez moves on. So you got to see what you got in him, right?
Yeah.
And Zach Docker-Clay, I reckon there's a world in which Zach starts and they bring Connor off the bench as that 14 role.
I think Zach hits better. He's a better defensive player. Connor Watson still fucking goes hard in defence, but like
he's a little nugget.
I don't really want to waste him that much in that first 15 minutes.
Yes,
where it's not going to open up.
No.
It will not open up.
You want him at the 25-minute mark.
I'm talking into the semi-finals as well.
Yeah.
This might open up early against South.
Yeah,
but
true.
like just going okay.
In a game,
you know what I'm saying?
In a week one final against
Let
Penrith.
Docker-Clay go out there and give me 15, 20 minutes of just tackling fish and like just
and that's
fucking,
it.
And because he's got good tackle tech, he gets underneath. He's a low center of gravity, so that's the way I'd use him because I think Connor Watson can still be off the bench and just fucking go nuts.
The Tab have Souths $4.20 underdogs at home again. The Sydney Roosters $1.23 and the line is 13.5. So I'm predicting Roosters 13 plus. I think
there's going to be a lot of 13.
Still too much quality in that team. The Dragons versus the Raiders Saturday 3 p.m. at Estrada Jubilee Stadium. The Dragons welcome back Moses Sully. He will partner Jack Bird in the centres with youngster Lycan King Tongia sliding in at 5'8". Matt Fiangai goes to the wing. Michaela Ravalhoa has been admitted. Jacob Little returns after missing round 26 for personal reasons, so Connor Muleisen goes to the bench. Blake Laurie has been added to the bench after being 18th man last week. As for the Raiders, they get back Jamal Fogarty for the last game with a hamstring, and 5'8" Ethan Strange is also back on deck. After wearing the 6 last week, KO Weeks goes to fullback for Jordan Rapana, who was injured early in that game as well. Elliot Whitehead suspended, so Simi Sasangi joins the pack, and Trey Mooney is added to the bench.
Yeah.
The Tab have St George Illawarra $1.70 favourites at home. Canberra $2.15. Geez, that is probably the best price of the round, I reckon. Canberra?
Yeah, I'm going Canberra.
Yeah.
I just think the Dragons haven't been the same since Nickett scored that try.
Yep.
And they showed a little bit of fight last week. That game was fucking over. That was over.
That's a surprise. I thought probably Raiders would have been favourites considering...
They're not favourites.
I thought they would have been favourites.
okay.
Yeah,
You're not.
I would have thought the other way around. I would have thought Canberra $1.70
because it's up in Sydney. That's
Yeah,
why.
for sure.
Jubilee, they're pretty hard to beat there.
And maybe they've taken into account the tab that it's not a meaningful game because both these teams, unless the crazy happens and there's a draw, that either of these teams are.
Yeah, hard game.
It's going to be a gritty
hard
game
to get up for, right?
Yeah.
You just got to win somehow, and I think Canberra. I think Canberra. They should have the talent to get through.
Would it?
It'd be a hard one. Imagine trying to play this game knowing that like there's no. You just got to win.
Would it surprise you in any way if Canberra go and beat Penrith and the Roosters and then lose to the Dragons?
Yeah, no.
No, I wouldn't know.
No, I wouldn't. Because I think the Dragons can beat anyone on their day, but it's just this is a real it's a meaningful game, but it's not. So it's hard to get up. So you got these young kids. The Six is a young kid. They got some yeah, I don't know.
I'm going to back the Raiders. I think the Raiders have been more consistent and they have more of the crack. They have the odd blowout like the Dragons as well, but last couple of weeks have been pretty impressive from the Raiders. So
yeah, I think they're just going to take that heat.
Good to,
they're playing some good football. I think they're going to beat the Dragons.
It'll be good for a young team to finish on a high too, right?
Yeah.
3 wins in a row to finish the season for 6. I reckon he'll be stoked. The Bulldogs versus Cowboys Saturday 5:30 at Accor Stadium. Bulldogs welcome back skipper Stephen Crichton. So therefore Jacob Carraz will partner him in the centres as Bronson Xerri is serving a 1-game ban. 5'8" Matt Burton is also missing after a HIA last week. So Drew Hutchinson comes into the 6. Just the one change for the Cowboys who down the Storm. Thomas McKaylee back from hamstring injury. So Jackson Purdue makes way.
Big game, man. It's a big game. It's a big game for us. And I think, if you're going to take anything out of last week, right, they're a big side, Manly, right? So I think for about 35 minutes, about 30 minutes of that game, they had 70% of the ball.
Yeah.
We cannot afford to give big, aggressive sides more than 55% of the ball because that's what happens, right? So we're a sort of team that needs to be at least 55% of the ball, high completions, and then run teams off their feet.
Yep.
Right? So when you
do your best work late.
Do your best work late, grind, kick to corners. We're going to miss Birdo because we can make 30 metres out of a set and he can kick it and put it on their 10-metre line.
Yeah.
So that's
going
to...
weapon. And Sherry's been really good.
And Sherry's been really good. And then Carraz moves in from the wing where he makes 250 metres plus a game to go into the centres where he'll probably give about 100.
Yeah.
So we lose that, and where Skelton needs to come and take the workload that Carraz has been doing.
Yep.
But we need to complete sets, get over 50% of the ball, keep turning these big boys around because if you think Manly's big, Taumalolo, McLean, Lukey, Nanai, Cotter, then the bench.
I think this is the reason this is a bad matchup.
McKaylee, do you know what I mean? So it's like we need to complete high sets, kick, grind, getting high-speed grinds, 6-7 minutes where the ball's in play and just keep fucking running, play football at them and defend our fucking asses off. That's been the ingredient all year for the Bulldogs. We don't want to go and give big teams, which most teams are bigger than us, we can't give them 60% of the ball because it's front door material, right? They just want to come through the front door. They don't probably respect our middles like they should. Right? So when you've got guys like Taumalolo and all these sort of blokes, they'll be going one out. We need to move those big boys around, complete at a high level, kick, chase, work, hustle, grind, and fucking get them. I give a fuck if we win by 2 points in the last second.
Cowboys are the same team as Manly for me, so I think this is a bad matchup again. Yeah, I'm with you on all.
No Burton, no Cherry.
Yeah, I think this is a bad matchup for the Bulldogs. I like the Cowboys in this one.
We just got to.
Sorry, mate.
We just got to. Get back on the horse. Get back to the way that the Bulldogs play.
Yep,
done.
The Bulldogs are $1.74. The Cowboys are $2.10. The line is 2.5. So very hard to split these last two games. But give me the two underdogs playing away in Canberra and North Queensland back to back on Super Saturday. The last one of Super Saturday, I will not be going the underdog in this one. We have the Penrith Panthers against the Gold Coast Titans at Penrith Park. So the return of Scott Sorensen from a hamstring injury sees Luke Garner move back to the bench and Eisenhuth slides to 18th man. As for the Titans, they get Keanu Kinney back. Dave Fafita is out though, and Clive Haas will move into the starting side. So on the bench.
Did he get a HIA last week?
Did he?
I don't know. Remember we were talking about that? Do you want to play last round?
He was the example. How fucking we jinxed the fuck out of David Fafita. Anyway, It's an ankle. He's going to get surgery, so it's not HIA.
Fuck. Sorry.
We jinxed the shit out of him.
Anyway, let's talk about is CANBERRA going to get the first try scorer?
Yeah, he's got it.
And who's got the who am I? Do I have Katoa or do I have Val Holmes for the highest point scorer?
I have. Do you want to get it up now? Oh yeah, should we do that at the end of the episode? Have we got enough time? Do it on Monday.
All right.
Yeah, we'll do it on Monday because it'll all be
Okay.
done. Yeah. I've got all the
Close.
data.
I'm close.
Yeah, you've got
I got it.
You got CANBERRA.
Yeah, it's either Val Holmes or Katoa that I've got for the highest point scorer.
Asako, you mean? Not Katoa.
Yeah, Asako.
Yes, Asako.
But then but it mustn't be him because I was death riding him because I must have mixed it up. It must be Val.
What if you were death riding the guy that you had because you forgot?
I swear I've got Val. And he just scored fucking 20 points last week.
I think so.
No, Katoa did.
Asako.
Whatever. Sarko. Fucking forget his name.
Same team.
Whatever. They're mates.
Yeah, they're mates. Cleese where are we? On the bench, young back rower Adama Ho will make his NRL debut.
Well
Jacob
done, mate.
Ali,
Well done.
congratulations, brother. So let's go to the tab. And as you'd expect, $1.11 about the Penrith Panthers, $6.50 about the Gold Coast Titans, 19.5. This is a game where Penrith want to go firing into the play. I think they've been limping, bit sore, bit banged up. I think this is the best version of the Penrith Panthers we're going to see.
This is it.
Going
This is
into
it.
week one. I reckon they want to send a statement, not to the Gold Coast Titans, to their week one opponent for
100%.
for the playoffs.
Dylan Edwards has had 4 weeks back from an injury. Fisher Harris has had 3 or 4 weeks back.
Yep.
Sorensen's back. That pack looks like it's fully stacked. So Titans will be coming down to Penrith for their last game going, fucking when's this over?
Yeah, agreed.
Could be messy.
Lionel. All right. Yeah, we both agree on that one. I think that's pretty straightforward. If Titans, I don't know, Titans one of those weird teams, they could throw something out at us for sure.
No, they can't.
These are going to be doozy, the last 2 games. Seagulls, this is finals footy. Seagulls versus Sharks, Sunday, 2 p.m. at 4 Pines, and we know Manly are a different team at home. Tolu Kola gets a nod at fullback to take over from Tommy for this week, but he is hopeful of returning next week. Clayton Falalolo comes in on the wing for Jason Saab. Ben Travojevic has been added to the bench after his 18th man last week, but the Sharks get some troops back. Jesse Ramian, suspension, back. Ronaldo Mortalo, knee, back. So Daniel Atkinson goes to the bench. Sam Stone Street, he goes to the reserves.
Oh, that sucks. He's had a good couple of weeks.
He was playing well, mate.
Yeah.
I like him. Braden Hamlin-Uele drops off the bench. Nico Hines back to halfback as per. Sifa Talakai is listed amongst the reserves.
You got to get Sifa on there.
He'll play.
Come on, bro.
So some huge Ramian, Mortalo and Talakai, they set the tone physically for this team. It's going to be a hard game to pick for this one. I'm obviously biased as always. Manly, $1.80, $2 Cronulla Sharks, but it's another underdog away that if I wasn't Manly, I'd really be thinking about the Cronulla Sharks.
I'm really impressed with Cronulla, and when they're on, they play a little bit of football in the middle. Rudolph's developed a pass.
Yep.
Hazelton's got a little bit of a pass.
Yep.
So their middles are really working together because that's what you need to do. They're big bodies, and it's just not one up, one out with those guys. They really play a little bit of football, so they need to get on the same page. I think they can cause a little bit of an upset here because I think it would be an upset if they beat Manly over there.
For sure would be.
I think Cronulla's got that team where they're very good defensively. I'm not even going to fucking care about what happened last week with the Warriors. That was just a beautiful moment for SJ and the Warriors, and what a way to bow out. Well, I think Cronulla get them. I honestly do. I just think they play a brand of football which is smash mouth, and they've got a little bit of skill in their forward pack where they're really starting to get some combinations between the middles, little tip-ons around about round C, and they're really starting to get the 4-man turning in. They might, they can really add on to those little plays.
They live in the middle part of the field,
but they're tipping on a little bit now.
But that's what I mean.
Yeah.
Even with the nice little short passes that you're talking about, their outside backs, they want the ball through the middle as well.
Yeah,
when you think of Koiro and Jesse Ramian, they come through the middle and they want to blast through the middle with their carries.
I think Cronulla get them. That's just my...
Yeah, they're a scary team to play in the last round with everything.
They'll take the shit personal because everyone's right.
Lukey's pumped. He's got the biggest smile on his face. What do you got for us, mate?
Are you ready for the next game?
Next game for what?
The Knights game yet?
Yeah.
Holmes on 226.
Yeah.
Jermaine
He scored fucking 20 points last week.
Yeah, he did too. Yeah, gotcha.
Oh, no, not
so
too
so
much,
wait,
Val.
wait. So
Not
let me
too
say
much.
this.
I'm fucking conflicted.
So Lukey is saying Val is on how much?
226.
And
And he's my man.
Asako
He's
is
my man.
on.
Sorry, he's my man. Val's my man.
Oh, have you gone back and checked it? Okay. All right. So Asako is on 221. And what's Katoa on?
What's Katoa on?
I'm only kidding. Sione.
Katoa's on
What's Sione
400.
Katoa? What's he on? Tries. He scored heaps of tries. No, I'm only kidding.
Oh, man. Yeah,
All
okay.
right.
It's going to come down to this round.
Yep. And this game. This game. It'll come down to this game.
If we win 36-20 and Val scores 20, we're sweet.
So you want, so say that again. So he gets,
So just say if we beat, just say it's a 36-22
Bulldogs
game.
beat 36-20.
And Val, you know, gets 12 points, scores a try, scores 2 tries,
Kicks 3
and
goals.
kicks 3 or 4 goals. I'm happy with that. Go Val, go Val.
you're legit going to be going for Val to score points in this, but Bulldogs
I have
win.
to. You'll see it on the group text.
Oh, that's funny. All right, let's get to
awesome.
Newcastle versus the Dolphins.
Oh, God.
This is going to be a doozy. This is the game of the round for sure. So the Knights welcome back Tyson Frizzell. So Brodie Jones goes to the bench. Your man Tyson Gamble was also set to return after missing a couple of games with a hand injury. Will Price and Thomas Cant are the men to make way. And Kai Pearce-Paul is listed amongst the reserves as he comes back from that laceration that he suffered in the yuck laceration that he got from the Rabbitohs game. The return of skipper Jesse Bromwich and Cody Nikorima sees Mark Nichols revert to the bench and Isaiah Katoa drop to the reserves. Kenny Bromwich moves into the starting side at lock and Lachlan Hubner goes to 18th man. Felice Kafusi got off that charge, so he is good to go.
Yeah, the juice.
Finally, they got one wrong.
Oh,
got
thank
one
fuck.
right in the bunker / match review
Yeah,
committee.
good. I'm happy.
Finally got one right.
Old Boys Day up in Newcastle.
Ooh.
I can't be there. I got invited.
Oh, nice, mate.
I just can't get up there.
Have you been to one yet?
Yeah, I have. I love it. I love it. I just can't get up there. I've just been busy as fuck. So and obviously if I go up on Sunday, we've got the potty on Monday. And I know what Old Boys is like.
Yeah,
I won't be
gotcha.
doing the potty.
Yeah, you need an old boys on Saturday.
Yeah, I can't do it. And I spoke to kids about it and I felt bad, but they barely lose. They do. They barely lose on Old Boys
No,
Day.
they don't really. I can't
That's
remember.
the only thing that is against me tipping the Dolphins.
Okay.
So I'm going to go the Knights.
Yep.
Does that mean if they win, do they get in the 8? The Knights?
The winner of this game gets in the 8. That's it. Like there's no ifs or buts or whatever. So if Dolphins win, they're in the 8. If Newcastle win, they're in the 8. If they draw, they can potentially be jumped by the Dragons.
KP puts a fucking clinic on. It has to happen.
Yeah.
He's the only guy. If there was no KP, they don't win. But because he's that good and he can dictate terms and he can create so much, he's got to. It's all predicated on KP.
I reckon the Knights win.
Only because it's Old Boys Day. Otherwise, I'm going Dolphins.
All right, yeah, I'm on the Knights to finish off. It's a tough one, really. It's a coin flip, but at home, Old Boys Day, you've got me. Old Boys Day, that's got me over the
big
line. The tab have Newcastle $1.70 favourites, Dolphins are $2.15, and the line is 2.5.
Fuck it, I'm going Dolphins.
Why?
Because I just think that they're on a bit of a roll, mate, and I just think they got their best team, their best 17. And I just don't trust
What do you
Newcastle.
reckon's happened with Isaiah Katoa at the back end of the season there? He was fucking playing so well.
I don't know.
It happened last year too.
I don't know. I think he's very young. I think Wayne's
He's still young, right?
Very aware of that, and just to be week in, week out is hard for young kids, man. Like, is he second year, first grade?
Second year.
Second year.
Full year.
It's full year, and it's just sort of taken its toll on him, a few bangs here and there, and he's got a 10, 15-year career ahead of him. So
Yeah, I believe
that's
so.
that's the beauty of a guy like Wayne. But yeah, it's weird. I thought that he was injured.
Yeah, no, he was on the bench last week. Come on, about 15 minutes
ago. Yeah, so
And yeah, he's in the reserves this week.
yeah, I like the way the Dolphins play. I like Jeremy Marshall King back in the fold. I like how
That's huge.
I like Hammer in there.
Centers.
I like him in the
Trey Fuller,
centers.
fullback.
Yeah, Herbie's been playing lights out. Newcastle's pretty good, but I just don't trust their halves.
What are you, the switching?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I was going to ask you
Jack
that.
Cogger and Felix Crossland.
Late switch last week for the Dolphins that suited a Broncos ambush. Does he ambush the Knights and switch it up again?
Yeah, and Don't worry about that. You think Wayne
He's got
doesn't,
some moving
you think
parts.
Wayne doesn't want to go up there because he played up there, coached up there, that he doesn't want to ruin their season?
How good's that? I didn't even think of that.
Man.
Wayne's ruined the Broncos season.
That's what he does.
So here we go, actually. So Wayne ruined the Broncos last week. If he wins this game, he ruins the Dragons season by knocking them out. And he could potentially
Newcastle.
knock out Newcastle all within 2 weeks.
That's what he does. Thank you, Uncle Wayne.
OG, quadruple OG. My levels bets friend special for this week is Manly to win. I've been on fire with this. I hit last week too, by the way. Manly to win against the Bulldogs last week with Tom Trbojevic scoring. He's out. So we've gone with Leo Hopewadi to score in the first 60 minutes this
Can
week.
score.
For $3.50. I absolutely love him. From the traders with a max bet of $25. As always, we want everyone to be playing safe during this footy season, so please keep front of mind. What are you really gambling with? For free and confidential support, call 1-800-858-858 or visit gamblinghelponline.org.au. Mate, huge games of huge weekend of
Fucking
games
massive.
coming up. I'm pumped for it, mate. Ready to go.
Right.
We'll see you at review on Monday.
Enjoy your footy. Gamble responsibly.